Hello, I'm Lisa Ainsley, and I'm just bringing you this really quick guide to using emotional freedom techniques as a self-help tool. So EFT, or emotional freedom techniques, just to give you a very quick introduction, is a mind-body technique. Its roots are in traditional Chinese medicine, but it also combines cognitive therapy with tapping on acupressure points. I'm not going to get into too much detail about exactly how it works and what it is in this video. This is just how to use it. I'll post a link for more information to describe what it actually is. So the first thing that you would want to do before you start tapping is actually acknowledge what it is that you're feeling. Be as specific as you can. So what is the emotion? So for example, it could be that you're feeling anxious. Anxious about what? Maybe you're not feeling anxious about anything particular, you're just feeling anxious. Maybe it's about a job interview, maybe it's, it could be whatever it is. Just be as specific as you can with that. Once you've identified the emotion, check in and see if this is showing up with yourself physically at all. So it could be that you have a tightness in your chest, a tightness in your throat, a knot in your stomach, headache, whatever it might be. Where are you carrying this emotion in your body? And the third step before you start is to rate the intensity of what you're feeling right now, in this moment. So if you're feeling anxious, for example, and you have a knot in your stomach, on a scale of 0 to 10, where is that sitting right now? Perhaps it's quite high, it's at an 8. Once you've got a note of that in your mind, that's going to help you to keep track of how this is working for you and whether you need to keep going with it. So once we've rated or scaled that emotion, that feeling, the first thing that we do when we start a round of tapping is we create a setup statement that works for us. So a setup statement would be a sentence that acknowledges the problem but also offers some self-acceptance as well. So an example might be, even though I have this anxiety, I accept myself anyway and I'm okay. Okay, so let's use that one as our example. So we start by tapping on the side of the hand while we repeat our setup statement 3 times. So just underneath the pinky here, we would say, even though I have this anxiety, I accept myself and I'm okay. Even though I have this anxiety and this knot in my stomach, I accept myself and I'm okay. Even though I have this anxiety and this knot in my stomach, I accept myself and I'm okay. Now we're going to go around the main tapping points, and while we do that, we're just going to say aloud exactly what we are thinking, what we're feeling in relation to this problem. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm just making things up. You can follow along exactly if you like, but you can also just use your own words. It's much more effective when you're able to apply it to your specific issue. So if you're able to, then go ahead and do that. If not, just follow along with what I'm saying. You'll still get some benefits from this anyway. So the first tapping point is at the start of the eyebrow. You might say, I have this anxiety, side of the eye. I have this knot in my stomach, under the eye. I'm not even sure why I feel this way, under the nose. I'm feeling overwhelmed with anxiety, the chin. This anxiety and this feeling in my stomach, collarbone, right where you would knot a tie. I have this anxious feeling and I'm not even sure why. Under the arm, about 4 inches down, sort of bra strap. I have this anxious feeling and I'm not sure why. Top of the head, this anxiety. Now there's one round, that's one complete round. You'd probably want to do a few rounds, just continuing to say aloud what is going through your mind, what you're feeling. Some people like to, once you've done a few rounds, start to introduce some maybe more positive expressions, positive feelings. But if that works for you, if that feels right for you, then do that. If not, stick with what it is, exactly what it is that you're thinking. The most important thing is that this is specific to what you're feeling in that moment. So, say aloud exactly what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Use your own words. Get sweary if you need to. You know, it doesn't matter how eloquent it sounds, you don't have to stick to a specific script. In my anxiety and stress workbook, I've included some scripts for you as a starting point, but what you really want to do is go beyond that script and just say exactly what you're thinking while you're tapping. Once you've done a few rounds, however many, it's really up to you. You might do 2 or 3 to start with. Then check in with yourself again. Where is that feeling now? Is it still up at an 8, that anxiety, or has it come down a bit? It might be, if it's come down a bit, you might want to continue until you can bring that down even more. You want to aim to bring that down to, under 2 if you can, something that you can deal with. It might be that whilst you're tapping, something else comes up, so a different feeling. So you might be tapping on this anxiety, and then you realise that this anxiety is sort of associated with a feeling of anger about a certain situation. And then if that was the case, you would go on ahead and you would tap on that anger, again being as specific as you can. So you would change your setup phrase to something about the anger, how you're feeling the anger, why you're feeling the anger, and so on. And then do as many rounds as you need. You can keep doing this as many times as you need. You can keep going round the full circle as many times as feels comfortable for you. And again, it's something that you can revisit every day. So, whenever you're in a situation where you're feeling something quite overwhelming, something quite unpleasant, you can take yourself away for a few minutes and use this tool just to try and reduce that. If you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis for something a little bit more deep-rooted, a bit more difficult to manage, then I'll pop a link to my website in the description of this video, and it's also on my page, on my YouTube channel page. So you could just visit that link and fill in the contact form, and I'll be in touch.